To start off, would you be willing to just share your name, where you're going to school, where you're from, what grade you're in?
Yeah, my name is Mia Palumbo. I'm from Oakland, Illinois, and I go to Iowa Wesleyan in Mount Pleasant, and I'm a freshman.
Awesome. So like coming in, you're a pretty big recruit, right? Coming out of college, Fargo championships. There's a lot of hype behind your name. I can remember hearing quite a bit about you. What was it about Iowa Wesleyan that kind of just set things apart for you?
The coaching staff had a really big impact on why I chose Iowa Wesleyan. Just a great group of guys that are trying to push us to be the best that we can be, and they really had a big impact. But they also had my major here, which is pretty selective at a lot of schools that have women's wrestling now. So it was definitely a good combo to have here.
And I mean, Iowa Wesleyan's, they're a newer team, obviously. Was there for you, was there any concern there, or was it more like kind of exciting? Like I get to be someone that can help take this team to another level.
Yeah, I was a little concerned at first. I was like, it's a small town coming from. I'm in a south suburb of Chicago, so it's a lot different coming from over from where I'm from, and then coming over here, it's a lot less populated, and it was a little different, especially not a lot of practice partners like I'm used to back at my club and stuff like that. But it was definitely a change. But I was just excited because I could see the coaching staff had they have a great plan for me, and so whatever, I trust them 100%. So if they're gonna put me on the mat, then I know that they got my back. Just wrestle and I'll be fine.
Yeah, that's awesome. And even talking about like the hype that was coming in for you. We talked a little bit about this earlier, but Iowa Wesleyan just landed a big time recruit in Faith Cole. Is that something that you're paying attention to at all when it's your program, or like was there excitement when you heard about that, or what was like that for you?
Yeah, I mean, I heard about it after practice. I was super excited. It's a good practice partner for me. More practice partners, more people around for us, just to definitely build our program with the numbers because we're kind of low right now, just being a second year program. So we kind of got to build it up and set an example for everybody else that's coming on and who wants to join our team. It was kind of nice just because we get new faces all the time, and just to see people actually coming here and you know everybody, I didn't hear much about Iowa Wesleyan from the start, and so I'm glad that it's getting out there and more girls are hearing about it, and we're getting some decent name girls coming on visits here too.
Yeah, and I mean, as a wrestling fan, it's super exciting to me. I would love to see like 30 really good teams, right? Like, and let's see battle and every bracket, everyone be really good and let her fly. But it's exciting for me to see. I mean, really, I have to think that you guys could have all but picked where you wanted to go, when you have the accolades that you did. I can't imagine that there's really any program that have been like, no, we're not going to take you. When you have the Fargo championships, the state titles and things like that. So that's exciting when, like you talked about, a newer program, a smaller town that they're pulling in some of the best recruits in the country is pretty cool. Coming out of high school and stuff like that. That's fun. Um, so do you know her really at all, or?
I mean, her older sister's on our team right now as well, Emma Cole. So she's been around a little bit. She was on injury this year, so she hasn't wrestled. But I've wrestled Faith once a couple years back, and then we've always kind of been around the same way, but we haven't really seen each other much.
Before you alluded just a little bit about coming from your club and things like that and the environment you had there. What club do you train out of?
Victory Elite Wrestling Cup.
Which is pretty elite, right? I mean,
yeah,
the major coaches.
it's definitely more of like a private gym. We keep it kind of small over there, like top Illinois guys. We have a handful of girls coming in there. Not many right now, but we're trying to get it more people in there as much as we can. And so it's a great room to be around coaches that will push you to the breaking point whenever they can. And athletes that all want this, we're all going for the same thing, just at different levels and whatever that is. We all go for it.
So what, like leading up to, obviously, North Dakota on this weekend, what does your schedule from here on out look like?
So we'll be leaving tomorrow, 10-hour drive, and then we have practice right when we get there, check in the hotel, wake up. We got a couple things to do for the tournament, and then we also have another practice, one-on-ones if we need it, any weight cut. And then Friday, Saturday we compete, and Sunday we'll be coming back to Mount Pleasant.
Which it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It's going to be a great tournament. I really hope that, not only people that are watching this, I hope people take the time to watch, because it's a lot of fun. I watched last year. The team race is going to be great. Some of the weight classes are wide open. Especially when you're talking about like All-American type status. You're really literally pulling some of those weight classes. It's like about 15, 20 girls have a really legit shot, which is super exciting. And even as we saw with D2, D3 this weekend, boy, there's some major upsets, and there's a lot of crazy things. You get on a run. One of the fun things about freestyle too is points can come real quickly, and obviously falls can as well. And so that makes it a lot of fun. So it should be a great tournament. How does your body feel right now? What do you feel physically?
I feel really good. I've definitely focused on recovery a lot more this season. Like I said earlier, I came off a concussion, and it was really hard for a little bit, but just staying focused and trusting my body, and to just peak at the right moment for me. And so sauna, biking, whether I need cupping or stim, Iowa Wesleyan has been there for me, and we got trainers who are there at practice all the time and are willing to do whatever they can to make your bodies feel as best as they can, just with like cold tub and all of that stuff. So I've definitely utilized a lot of that this season.
How long were you out for?
So I was out for like a month and a half. Well, I went home for the entire winter break and wasn't able to wrestle or anything. And Midlands got canceled. So then that was right before they had said, like, maybe you shouldn't push it. And so I didn't, and I just let it be, and just tried focusing on my grades and just being home with my family again. Just like a little reset was kind of nice as well.
Yeah, that for someone like you, that's such a competitor and that wants to dive in and continue to get better and push yourself, that had to been pretty hard. What would you say, like, through that process, what is maybe a lesson that maybe you learned through that?
I guess like a big lesson that I learned is to just listen to your body, because a lot of times people, and even me, like push through everything that they can possible. And like long-term wise, that's not good for me or anybody else, because I'm just going to keep getting re-injured. And especially with the brain, definitely since I had a concussion, I didn't want to mess up anything long-term wrestling wise or just my life in general. So we definitely, I was a little bit of fight at first, because I wasn't too all right with that, but I let it be, and I just focused on what I could and what I could control.
And you never want that to happen, but it had been a little bit of a blessing to like have part of that be over your, like you said, over your winter break, and be able to go home and have that familiarity with that. That's pretty cool. So what does your summer look like? Do you know yet?
Yeah, so after nationals this weekend, I'm gonna do US Open in the end of April, and then I think 2 weeks later, second week of May, I'll be at Junior World Team Trials in Texas.
That'll be a lot of fun. We actually get to go down to the US Open, my daughter, wife, and I, which we're pretty excited about that. More and more, we're hearing more and more names going to be down there, which even makes it more fun as we get to have interviews like this, and just gives you another person to follow, to cheer for, to root for, not only like at nationals, but also for US Open and trials and things like that. And man, the field continues to get deeper and deeper and more skilled. You know, when you have more girls like you that are coming in every year, it's wrestling's at a really good place. It makes me excited. Yeah, I'm pumped. I'm pumped for you guys. I'm pumped to continue to see you grow. Not only as a person and as a wrestler. And you alluded to it earlier, like when you're talking freestyle, you're pretty new into the game, right? So the ceiling's got to be high. Like that's got to be pretty encouraging for you also. Like, do you feel that like even through this season, like that you're continuing to take new leaps?
Yeah, I definitely feel like I guess my dad was my coach, and he definitely got me to the level where I need to be prior to college. And I guess in my mindset, college coaches are gonna open me up to new opportunities and coach me to be the best I can. And so with freestyle, since I'm not super knowledge with it, it's definitely been an eventful season. I always got something to work on instead of just I still do like repetitive like different moves and stuff that I already know, but getting into new things and hitting different things that I'm not used to different transitions. It's been nice to just like, I love learning about wrestling. I love learning in general. So, especially with something I'm interested in, I've just focused in really hard on it because I got a goal that I got to accomplish, you know.
You mentioned your dad being the coach. Is wrestling then a family affair? Is that how you got into it?
Yeah, my dad, he was a wrestler at the same high school I went to, Richards High School in Illinois, as well as my older brother. And so right after that, I started wrestling. After I seen Haley Geller wrestling at a wrestling tournament, and I kind of just took off from there. And it's always my family. My dad's a wrestling coach at Homewood Flossmoor in in Illinois, and my little brother used to wrestle, but now he's playing volleyball and basketball. So
Okay, cool. That's awesome. Well, I wanted to maybe close with, if you could tell yourself like as a freshman in high school, like give yourself a piece of advice, what is something that you would tell yourself, not a, maybe something with wrestling specific, and then maybe something just like with life. What is a piece of advice you'd give yourself?
for wrestling, I definitely say just like just keep going, just keep going because there's a lot of times since freshman year that it's kind of been up and down, and there's been a lot of highs and a lot of lows. So I guess it's kind of just keep going, and wrestling and life, honestly, it could change in a matter of a second. So I've kind of just kept my head forward and focused on what I can control. And definitely with wrestling, I can control a lot of it. It's a lot of mental game. Uh, but life in general too, there's only what I can do. And so I've kind of just told myself to keep going or give myself little things to look forward to. And it's been working good for me.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that. One last thing before we close. What is something like if you had to sell somebody on Iowa Wesleyan wrestling, what would you tell them?
Um, I think we're a big group of diverse kind of girls. We're all at different levels, which is kind of makes practices a little interesting sometimes. And there's girls going at it in one corner, and there's just a we're kind of in a little groups that we have. But when we come to tournaments, we all come together and we laugh and little sauna workouts. I think we have a great team environment, and we've all kind of pulled together from a lot of different places. A lot of us haven't seen each other. A lot of them are coming from California or Washington, Utah area. And then there's a lot from the Midwest. So it's kind of nice to get a little look at all around the world.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much for taking time, especially before you guys run into Fargo, or not Fargo, to North Dakota. I really appreciate that. Cheering for you. It'll be a lot of fun. Safe travels and go kick some butt.
Thank you.
Have a good one.
You too. Mm.